Hello, we're so excited about so many wonderful opportunities. I'm truly honored to be here with our learners. We've been learning so much about Black History Month, and actually, I can tell you that the students have been teaching me as well. And so, what we've done, we have just a plethora of things going on, and I would like to have credit for everything, but I can honestly tell you, I'm just a recipient of the great talent that I have around me with my staff. So I would like to start naming people, but I know me and I will forget. So I will say thank you to New Highland staff for what you have done to make Black History Month so successful. And once again, it's for all of our children. How can Miss Packer be the best Miss Packer ever? Is because I can encompass all those people around me and make myself a better person by the power, superpower of the people that I encompass. And so we've had race questions about some great African Americans. We've had guest speakers. We've had a rapper. We have the Attorney General coming in. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And so Miss Urbans in the library, she went out of her way. She came in on a Saturday, then she came in on a Friday, and she dove into all her books and she laid them out on the table, and they're going to have a book tasting as well. You see this great chair that was donated to us by Miss Drake and our art teacher, and if you look around as you pan down the hallway, you'll see some great pieces, writing pieces. So it's been all encompassing. And once again, this has been the great opportunity for me to learn from our students. Thank you so much for spending your time with New Highland.
Hi, my name is Dawn Kennedy, and I'm an ESL team lead in the Hardin County Schools. That means English as a second language, and I teach students who can speak more than one language. And we are here today to celebrate Black History Month, and that typically looks like talking about slavery and civil rights and those kinds of things in the United States, or famous people who have been experts or outstanding in their field in some way. But we decided that we would like to present African art and culture instead and honor that heritage. So we are addressing those other things, but we wanted to go a little deeper this year. So we're really excited to share some things with you. Also, we have a rapper today coming called Rose the Baby, who will be sharing his talents with the students. And then we will be going into the library, and our wonderful media specialist, Amanda Urbans, has created a beautiful Valentine-themed cafe, like a nice restaurant for the students, and they're taking a book tasting of all kinds of achievements by African Americans, autobiographies, stories, overcomers, people in the civil rights movement, those who helped slaves escape to freedom. So we're really excited to share those things with you today. You're going to be seeing a lot of artifacts here today, and many of them came from different places. So some of them I actually lived in Liberia, West Africa for about 4 months many years ago when I was in college. I lived with an African family, and it was an incredible experience. And so, for example, this dress right here, I used to fit in that, and that was given to me. And this kind of skirt is called a lapa in Liberia. In some other African nations, it's called something else, but it's just like a big wrap that you wrap around, and there's different ways you can do that. This shirt was donated by my friend who has an adopted daughter from Uganda, and she bought that there. And then this was also from my trip to Liberia. And my experiences there, we've had students bring in some objects in a little while. We'll be talking to a 5th grader named Gideon, whose dad is from Kenya, and he brought us a club that Kenyan herdsmen who are herding cattle use to literally fight off lions. And we have other objects donated by some of our staff members. Michael's Tires, Firestone donated a tire for us to talk about the rubber plantations in Africa. I went to the African grocery store in Louisville and purchased some items so students can see that. And also I have some friends from Togo who donated some things for us to enjoy. And a few of our staff members of various races have donated items that we can share. So we're really excited to show you what we have here today. Yeah, this is also Ugandan. It's a really thick, heavy fabric. It has a design that includes these swallows or birds, which can be an important symbol in the culture. And I just love this. This looks like things I might buy at a boutique locally. And so the African design has influenced the kind of tunic bohemian fashion that we have here in the United States. This is more of a ceremonial gown, more of a formal to be worn at an elegant function like a wedding or a baptism or something like that. And you can see the beautiful embroidery and also the tie-dye. And most of the tie-dye in Africa is done by hand, and they're incredibly skilled at creating patterns and designs with tie-dye. This is also a formal gown that was donated by one of our staff members, and you can see the beautiful embroidery and patterns on the gown, and this is also for a more formal or elegant occasion. So our student body here is about 25% students with African heritage, and we got that information from surveys that parents fill out. So either they checked that their child was fully African American or that they were African American and some other race such as Caucasian or Latino. So that's how we got the numbers. We tallied those up, and we're really proud and excited that we have 25%. In the United States of America, 42 million people have African heritage out of the 320 million Americans, and so that's about 14%. Okay, so right here we have something that you might not typically connect with African culture, but actually in Liberia, West Africa is an enormous rubber plantation. It was founded in 1926 by the Firestone Plantation, or the Firestone Corporation. And we are very thankful to Michael's Tires Plus in Elizabethtown for donating a tire. And we have a rubber tree here. And when I lived in Liberia, I actually got to tour a plantation. It was fascinating. It's kind of like the way that they extract maple sugar from trees. They put a tap and it comes out pure white. It looks almost like Elmer's glue pouring out of the tree, and then they do all kinds of processes to create it and turn it into, you know, balls for sports and tires and other things. And so that's one of the important industries in Africa. When I lived in Liberia, I lived with a Liberian family, and the dad was a school principal, and I was actually a foreign language teacher at the school where he was the administrator and I was the English teacher. And I taught Shakespeare to senior English classes, and I remember when I had Shakespeare and my friends were falling asleep and these kids slid out of their chairs and were kneeling in the floor, and I was like, what's going on? And storytelling is such an important part of the culture that they began to act out the play we were reading, Romeo and Juliet, with so much fire and passion. It was just amazing to see how much they value storytelling and the way they were able to just command attention by acting that out. Also, when I lived with a Liberian family, Dad was from the biggest tribe in Liberia, which is called the Bassa tribe. And so I learned to do the basic greetings, and I'm going to do that for you now. So it's like two people speaking, so I'll kind of do this maybe. So, mweo, emwe, awanambwe, depanio, and it literally means, how is the water where you are? And then you say, the water is fine where I am, because having rain and having something to drink and not being thirsty is such an important part of the culture that instead of saying, hi, how are you, or what's up, or something like we would say, they literally ask about the water and respond that the water is fine, and then in the end they say if they're really good, they say the water is cold and deep. So it's really powerful. I ate with my host family, and they ate traditional African food. So this, I'm Italian and we eat eggplant parmesan, but this is actually eggplant, and it's not purple like ours, it's white, and that you can see now, because I always thought, why do they call that eggplant? But this actually looks like an egg, and they call it garden eggs. So that's very interesting. Then also plantain is kind of like a banana. A lot of our Hispanic students eat plantain chips, but this is flour made from the plantain, and you make it into these cakes and put it in a soup that's kind of like hot and sour soup, and it has a little fermentation to it, almost like a kimchi or a sauerkraut. And so this is really a staple that they eat. This is an African yam, and it is white on the inside, not that orangish color like ours are. Then this is how bananas actually grow in most of the nations of the earth. And I don't know what we do to ours, but these are the most flavorful, delicious bananas I've ever eaten in my life. They're much smaller, as you can see. Now this is an incredibly important part of the African diet. This is palm oil, but they call it palm butter. And palm butter is very rich in calories. It's antibacterial, it's antiviral, and it is, they even have a dance called the palm butter, and they cook and fry and stew and saute and roast everything in this type of an oil. And it looks this color because it has carotenes in it, like carrots. This spice is for oxtail soup or stew, which is a delicacy. So it's just like we would put, you know, maybe a meat rub or a seasoning on our meat. This is called oxtail and stew seasoning. And last but not least, this is probably, other than rice, one of the biggest staples of the African diet. This is called a cassava root. Our Hispanic families might call this yucca. It's not quite exactly the same, but this is something they pound it, and it becomes almost like our tapioca pudding. And this is what tapioca is made out of as well. But we eat it in a sweet way, like a dessert, but they do not. They pound it and eat it. It can also be served in soup and look similar to this.
So each year that we have done our cafe, we set it up with a theme to make Black History Month even more special than it already is. We have a very diverse school, and we love to embrace that here at New Highland. And for me in the library, I have chosen to do my book tastings, and each week we have a different genre of African American culture that we explore. And so just like you would if you were eating at a fine restaurant, we have the table set up and we can talk about etiquette, but instead of sampling food, we taste different books. So we have explored the different artists, the different singers, the different musicians, and variety of people within the arts. And then the next week we explore scientists and explorers. And then as the month continues, we're going to explore different African American athletes as well as historical figures, because we know that culture is made up of many people and many different experiences. The kids become more engaged because they're excited. I only do this once a year, and so they're like, what's happening? Why are there tablecloths on the table? Why do we have centerpieces? And then I get to greet them in the hallway, explain that they're at a fine dining establishment, and we talk about how we're going to have menus and we're going to have tablecloths, and we don't make spills and leave them, that this is like a nice sit-down restaurant. And then we talk about how restaurants are quiet, and I'll play a little music in the background. So for the week that we did artists and musicians, there was some jazz music playing, some Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, and things like that. And so that way they got to sample a little bit of music and culture that way as well. And it just brings a whole new element to it. They get excited. They don't have to like their book. They don't have to check out their book, but they do have to sample it and taste test it. And then they get the experience where they get to share about their book with their classmates, their table mates, and have their dinner discussions. And afterwards, they can swap books, and then we read for a few more minutes and talk about those books and those experiences. They have to do a book review, also known as a Yelp. They have to give a review of the restaurant and their books, and then we go from there to help them select books. Book tastings are becoming more and more popular. Over at James T. Alton, we have Katie Newton, who's the library there, library media specialist there, and she does a book tasting every year. So I reached out to her and kind of knew what I wanted to do, and I asked her for some tips, and she was very open-minded and such a great wealth of information that she shared with me, and I just went from there and keep doing it every year, and every year it gets a little bit bigger. So I told you about the theme of the tables. The book display on the shelves over here, they're labeled books that look like us, because like I said, New Highland's a very diverse school and we truly embrace it. And so when I pulled that book display, I was thinking about all of our students who have special needs, who have wheelchairs, students who maybe have hearing impairments, students with red hair and freckles, students who might have tan skin or brown skin, just anybody and everybody, athletes, because one of the things that I feel like my role is as media specialist is not to teach students what they can be or should be, but to inspire them so that they can decide what they want to be when they grow up. Do I want to be an astronaut? Do I want to be an athlete? Do I want to be a scientist? Do I want to be a poet laureate? That kind of thing. So doing the book tasting, I can touch on a variety of these elements all month long. And they get to choose from books on the table, books on the display, and then if they're not finding what taste fits them at the table or the book display, they can move to the shelves to find something that fits their personality and their desires. So the book tasting is important, and the fact that we as a school-wide, are celebrating all of our different diverse students and families, it's important because pulling books for a book display like this or a tasting, it lets the kids relate to characters that they might not know otherwise. It lets them understand their culture. It lets other students who don't understand different cultures explore. You know, the nice thing about books is that it can take us anywhere around the world and bring us right back to New Highland. And so it's a way to bring awareness and educate all at the same time. My end goal is that by the end of the month and by the end of the school year, when you're at New Highland and you are my student in the library, that you're going to feel loved and you're going to feel special regardless of the month. And that if I don't have a book for you, let me know. I will work very hard to find a book that you want to taste test.
Hello, my name is Lisa Terry Wooten. I am the site coordinator for the Power Up Bullpup After School program. Me and some of the students here, we want to share in some things that we did for the program. We studied African American Bantu tribe, and with that we also completed paintings of masks and icons. So let me bring you over here to show you a sample. These are some of the samples that our wonderful, wonderful students here have done during our activities and enrichment portion of our program. Wonderful. And then I will let our students talk to you about some of the things they've also learned here at the Power Up Bullpup After School program.
When I learned in the library about African American, that in Africa, I just forgot the name, but the little boy, he made an invention that changed the world. My favorite part that I get to be creative, get to put the colors anywhere I want. Like I get to put all these different colors anywhere I want. There's no numbers, I have to put it where and stuff.
I learned how to make different colors out of paint. Power Up. This is what I'm in, and the favorite part about it is that I like the part of it is the X on the can.
Let me see if Miss Melissa can help us.
What I've learned is that I make new friends, and I would love to, when people be nice to each other, I can fix a problem and I can help people whenever they need help. This is what I painted. I painted this, and my favorite part is that I spend my time on this, and I try to make it look as best as I can, and so I added some polka dots and I added some of the color to it. In Power Up, and also in class, I learned that Martin Luther King changed the world for African Americans and white people. I painted it the way that I did is because I like to do painting, and also I like to do designs on everything. I learned how to paint Cuba mask. I had fun painting the Cuba mask. So I was thinking about painting these like in a certain design because they have a certain design, and I was making it like kind of like a white sun up here. I made it like from here to here, but then I painted it a different color. My favorite part is this because it looks like the sun is kind of rising.
My name is Gideon, and my mom is from America. My dad is from Kenya, and this what I'm holding right now is the Lions Club. The Messiahs use it to kill the lions for protecting the cattle. I'm really excited. I never seen an African rapper before. Only singer, not rapper. And yeah, I'm about 10 out of 10.
How y'all doing? I'm Rose the Baby. I'm an artist from Radcliffe, Kentucky. I now live in Louisville. I rap, I sing, I kind of do a little bit of everything. I'm here to perform at New Highland for the students here. Basically just talking about my life and about things I aspire to get in life, things I aspire to be, things I've been through. A lot of inspirations. I grew up in church, and I was in the choir. My mom was a choir director, so she really inspired me. And also I just grew up around like people that was into hip hop a lot. And so they were big inspirations in what I do now in my life. And I basically plan on inspiring the kids with music to show that music is a form of art, it's a form of expressing yourself, it's a form of just letting out things that you might keep bottled up and just telling your story at the end of the day. Hip hop has just allowed me to have a voice and express myself in ways that I wasn't able to normally. I like poetry, but I was really into music and just wanted to add the two together to try and give myself a voice. And it's helped me deal with negative emotions and positive emotions, but never in a negative way though. It's just helped me express it more deeply into a way that a lot of people can't understand it. And through hip hop, it gives them a way to understand it. There's a lot of negatives and positives about hip hop, and I feel like the main important positive is that hip hop is telling your story at the end of the day. The negatives that surround hip hop mainly come from the mainstream. It's what you see on TV a lot of the time because it's really abstract and it's not how hip hop and life really is. Hip hop brings a lot to the community. It gives people a voice. It allows people to express themselves in ways they wouldn't be able to. Hip hop is basically poetry with music in the background. Hip hop is just expressing yourself in a different kind of way.
Hey, Miss Packett. How you doing?
It's good seeing you. It's really good seeing you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We're going to get the kids in
Yes,
there,
ma'am.
and I'm telling you what, I'm so happy.
Thank
I
you.
am blessed that
Thank
you're
you. I'm
here.
happy to be here too.
All right, how y'all doing? All good? All right, hey, what grade do we have over here? Third, what grade is this? Second, what grade is this over here? Fourth? All right, so I've seen a lot of y'all want to be rappers, right? Do y'all know that a lot of it comes with hard work? Yeah, y'all didn't sound too sure. Do y'all know a lot of that comes with hard work? All right, the biggest thing about being a rapper, or honestly being whatever you want to be in life, is hard work and dedication. And I'm a college student right now, and I took a class off today just to be here for y'all. And honestly, that class is gonna impact a lot in my life, just like the rest of my classes are. And college, that's really what college is, and just the rest of school, honestly. It's big impacts on life that'll help you get to where you need to go. And if you feel like school really isn't for you or anything like that, or you can do better without it, or you just feel like you don't want to apply yourself, I promise you that you're going to miss out on a lot of things in life because you don't want to apply yourself in school. I want to see some dance moves. I want to see y'all really get you feel me, get live with it, okay? I really want to see y'all turn up with it, okay? I might stand out if I hit a lick. Talking tuckers, you ain't got a stick. Think you hard cause you moving them bricks. Double down, you did it too quick. Pen a roast pink just for my chick. Sticking around just like a tick. I go #1 like the first pick. Camera boy cause of my sauce. Been had the vision, knew I'd be a boss. Thumbing them all, I ain't worried about cost. Niggas so froze when you think I see. I'm going hard, you can hear my exhaust. Never existed, my brother, you lost. Been on the route to the paper like Dolph. My flow contagious, should leave with a cough. Yeah, why you choosing to come out when I go inside? Fly, dudes hiding up, we see the sun when it rise. Fool, all on my neck and it ain't no surprise. Ride, you know that I'm kicking it out with my guys. Walking the snow on my Timbs. I put tattoos on my limbs. Cardiac glass in my limbs. Coming, I'm staying strong, I can't bend. Gotta put it on for my kin. I'm in the water like Finn. I got that sauce with a gin. I'm trying to run some bands. Running some bands with my mans. Blowing their face like I'm Lance. Then put you out like a Zan. You like a crab in the sand. Like a fan. I cannot give you no chance. You just been wanting advance. Put VVS is on my kicks. I might stand it if I hit a lick. Talking tuckers, you ain't got a stick. Think you hard cause you moving them bricks. Double down, yeah, we did it too quick. Pen a roast pink just for my chick. Sticking around just like a tick. I go #1 like the first pick. Camera white cause of my sauce. Been had a vision, knew I'd be a boss. Thumbing them all, I ain't worried about cost. Niggas so froze when you think I see. I'm going hard, you can hear my exhaust. Never existed, my brother, you lost. Been on the route to the paper like Dolph. My flow contagious, you leave with a cough. I'm going up like in my cup. Know that I'm charming, I don't need no luck. Been sending me, I'm keeping a buck. I'm a big dog and you really my pup. I'm going like FBG duck. Been on the, been like a truck. That money is tucked. Cover it like a shark wood on the rug. Rose the baby cannot be replaced. Smoking the air like you sparked some sage. I'm in the struggle but feeling like cage. Start to get hotter when I'm full of rage. Hard as a cover but I got no page. You at the bottom like minimum wage. I got that sauce and it cannot be. Hey, I might stand at it if I was lick. Talking touch you, we ain't got a stick. Going hard cause yeah. And the roast pink just for my chick. Sticking around just like a tick. I go #1 like the first pick. Camera white cause of my sauce. Been had the vision, knew I'd be a boss. Thumbing them all, I ain't worried about cost. Niggas so frozen, I think it's false. I'm going hard, you can hear my exhaust. Never existed, my brother, you lost. Been on the route to the paper like Dolph. My fucking taste, you leave with a cough. I might stand at it if I hit a lick. Talking tuckers, you ain't got a stick. Think you hard cause you moving them bricks. Double down, yeah, we did it too quick. Pen a roast pink just for my chick. Sticking around just like a tick. I go #1 like the first pick. Camera white cause of my sauce. They had the vision, knew I'd be a boss. Thumbing them all, I ain't worried about cost. Niggas so frozen, I think it's a boss. I'm going hard, you can hear my exhaust. Never existed like you lost. Been on the route to the paper like Dolph. My fucking taste, you leave with a cough, yeah. Alright, we got 2 more songs. Come on, we finna turn up. We finna keep turning up. Yeah, I got some jewels and I keep some Armani and Fendi. This drip ain't no limit, got plenty. I'm so automatic, you thought that my mind ain't be send me. Best that I stay with him. He's like the rock, stop it. Can't cause I stay with my brothers, you got it. Hate me or love me, that mean I'm the topic. All this red dripping won't fit in the closet. Way more than a million, tryna see some big so-and-so at Philly. Handle all the villains, tennis in the village. Sliding with it, grizzly sliding till I'm sliding in the city. I got a pop, these they on lock. Opened up the box, frozen like my watch. I don't talk to cops. Let's go. I'm with my brothers, but stay and be long. I'm from the K and the Cliff is my home. Not talking colors, I don't like your tone. I'm in my zone when these lyrics get wrote. I'm Danny Phantom when I'm in the ghost. I cut my finger, this blood of a goat. Keep some blue faces, designing my clothes. Off of the, it's going in one go. Straight off the muff for this. It's like, wait, I'ma drop the location and see it. You shake, I like racks in the middle, like keep me a record. She take like a, she bound to get. I've been the realest, not ever go fake. It's a bounty for bands and I'm setting the pace. Say that you ran, but you still running late. Let's go meet up real brief for the racks in the cage. Rose be, he gone like a ghost. He really gon' stay the stage. Rose be swimming, got fish in his phone. He throwing back in the lake. Rose got business to handle with money. He tryna go make a play. Rose got dogs and they need him a bone. He keep the food on their plate. Hey, gotta keep it on me, yeah, you know I got the ice pack. Really run the shows, it's a problem, catch a flight back. Build up my lonely, but still got a team. You catch a fade if you mess with my dream. They for the birds, I can tell by their tweets. All of that, it put me to sleep. Bottoms is bleeding like red on my seas. They really scheming and that's them. I got some jewels and I keep some of my money. Infinity, this drip ain't no limit. I'm so automatic, you thought that my name is Sim. Best that I stay away from Henny. Keep 2 MVPs like the Rock. Stop it, can't cause I stay with my brothers, you got it. Hate me or love me, that mean I'm the top. All this red dripping won't fit in the closet. I got some jewels and I keep some of my money. Infinity, this drip ain't no limit. Got plenty, I'm so automatic, you thought that Yeah, 2 MVPs like the Rock. Stop it, can't cause I stay with my brothers, you got it. Hate me or love me, that mean I'm the top. All this red dripping won't fit in the closet. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We got one more song. Yeah. I shot square around the band, had to make it to the stew by 3. Put sharp, brand new whip. Driving while I'm looking for the key. Baby Drake had to get a geek. I just need designer on me. Hanging in the room but I'm still in my B-Lone tee. Still feeling B-Lonely. Still they really can't hold me. I see a brand new face, straight from the lake, chomp for the snakes. Said he got some brand new K's, I ain't never gonna hate, gonna make your play. Yeah, we in the go, y'all race, I'm last take off for the first home plate. Baby, so she caught my eye, hoping she ride with me. I got this license, so she see how I'm coming, I'm different, I'm hoping she vibe with me. Get to the money, the hundreds, I'm thumbing you see that they stay on the side with me. Big body been, but she told me she came from the mud, that's why she drive the G. Diamonds forever, they never lose value. Red and green lights, let me come wow you. I'm from the vault, I drift to the league. Girl, with you, I know you. Big body been so back up when it beat. Vision get blurry, it ain't what it seems. They be on dirt while it's raining. Sometimes I be where it's dangerous. You still my brother is stainless. Obviously drift on the Caymans. But I still like to be by myself. Ain't bothered by nobody else. Lot of ops try to take on my, but we keep it stuffed in the shelf. Can I melt? Kamikaze already been dealt. Yeah, I shot square around the band, had to make it to the stew by 3. Put sharp, brand new whip. Drop one, looking for the key. Baby Drake had to get a geek. I see designer on me. Hanging in the room full of, but I'm still in my B-Lone tee. Still feeling B-Lonely. Still they really can't hold me. I just need a brand new face, straight from the lake, chomp for the snakes. Shawty got some brand new K's, I ain't never gonna hate, gonna make your play. Yeah, we in the go, y'all race, something let's take off for the first home plate. Yeah, this show fun like a model, she curvy like Coke in a bottle. You know when I'm on it, I ain't sipping dirty, I'm sipping. Yeah. Hey, Armani my tea. I wear that forces, I step with no crease. Push out the whip, it was bought with no lease. Pay me to pull up this drip, it ain't free. I had to re-up, keep beating the streets. You my like tickets, you keep it low key. Hate me the most cause I'm keeping it G. Stripes be blue like you came out to sea. I'm in my duffel, make cash when I sleep. Big body missile back up when it beat. Feel like a shepherd, I'm leading the sheep. They really are, I swear I've been peep. Ross go give me a diamond from Mars. Ross gon' make it align with the stars. It's what it says when I'm playing with cars. It's cause I'm grinding, I swear I'm too hard. Ghosts in the ride and the stars in the roof. I feel that peace when I step in the booth. Take out the top while my feelings get loose. That's when the guys and they know how I move. Yeah, I shot square around the band, had to make it to the stew by 3. Push our brand new whip. Drop while I'm looking for the key. Baby Drake had to get a geek. I just need designer on me. Hanging in the room for the, yeah, but I'm still in my B-Lone tee. Still feeling B-Lonely. Still they really can't hold me. I just need a brand new face. Straight from the lake, chomp for the snakes. Shawty got some brand new K's, I ain't never gonna hate, gonna make your play. Yeah, we in the go, y'all race, something let's take off for the first home plate. Yeah. Yes, sir.